Hi, it's Penny Rose Journals. I'd like to introduce you to Adilynn. She is 24 centimeters tall, 16 centimeters wide. She has a spine of 4.5 centimeters and is made out of a complete old book cover. I have not removed the spine. She was just the perfect size for 4 signatures. She's relatively unembellished. She was just beautiful the way she was. You can see the old cover is slightly bent on the corners. There's a bit of water staining on the back. I didn't do a lot to her cover. She was just lovely as she was. Just a simple coffee dyed fabric tie for a closure. There is a bit of embossing on her cover. I don't know if you can see that in camera. Right. Here is a pocket made of a few book pages. There's a couple of journal cards tucked in. Excuse me. With a little bit of extra writing space hidden away underneath each page. Some vintage music. Lots and lots of writing space, drawing space, sketching space, whatever it is you like to do with a journal. But yeah, she's relatively unembellished. She's just essentially a writing journal. Children's book page. Lots of different types of paper. Coffee dyed printed paper. I believe this is Kaiser Craft. I just love the beautiful little birds. A pocket made from an old book page. A few journal cards, old playing cards and whatnot tucked in. Here's another journal card just tucked into the fold of the page with an altered paper clip. Some scraps of lace sewn on. There's a lot of coffee dyeing, tea dyeing. I used to just primarily coffee dye. There's some oven baked coffee dyed paper. I don't oven bake very often. I tend to forget about it. or have my oven up way too high. Not good. So I mostly air dry, but I very rarely coffee dye nowadays. Here's a little fabric flip. It's an altered paper clip with a little booklet on the other side, which I forgot to tie together. Just a couple of journal cards, some extra writing paper, some tall journal cards tucked into pockets on either side, and some little cards in a pocket on the back. There we are. Yeah, I very rarely coffee dye these days. Primarily I bundle dye with tea. It gives this sort of effect, a lot of cross-contamination if you like. I use rusty things in my tea bath. I bundle up all my pages together, tie them with fabric and just plonk them in the hot tea bath, boil them for a little while, and then they have to dry in a big lump. I have to pull them apart. This is some old music paper, vintage music paper. Yeah, but you get this sort of effect. It does take time to air dry and, you know, to be able to pull it all apart once it's done, but I think it's well worth the effort. It just gives some really pretty effects. It's an old magazine page with old imprints of paper clips. Lots of space to write. Some international paper sizes. There you have it. You can learn something as you go. There's always something new to learn. Another book page pocket. A few little bits and pieces tucked in. One of those huge playing cards altered. I don't know where I got those, but I do have a few. Picked them up in a thrift store somewhere, I'm sure. Bit of jelly printing. There's some of that cross dyeing from the bundle dyeing. Some crunchy dictionary page that I love so much. A little bit of paper ruffle holding a altered envelope. Has a pocket with a few little bits and pieces tucked in. And over here we have some journal cards. There's another example of that sort of cross dyeing in the tea bath bundles. Bit more jelly print. Some calligraphy paper. That's probably a good example of the tea dyeing with the bundles. You can see little rust stains, marks from other papers. Just gives an interesting effect. This was jelly printing with acrylic paint and spray ink. Love the colours. Some building schematics. Some elephants. There you go. A little washi. Some more jelly printing. The fly cover of a, or the front cover of a signature page or a chapter page in a book for somewhere to write. A little bit of paint stained encyclopedia. A crow. And some of that cross dyeing. Right, and that's pretty much it for Adilynn. She was just beautiful without too much work. I think she built herself, frankly. I just came up here one day and she was here. Sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes books name themselves, sometimes they seem to build themselves. I have one idea and then end up with something else. You can see the inside cover, that water stain that's on the back. Just lovely. Thank you for joining me to meet Adilynn. She is available in my Etsy store, Penny Rose Journals, right at the moment. I have enjoyed spending time with you this morning. I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.